Okay, we saw the president shopping indoors on Saturday behind glass that says face covering required, but his face was uncovered. Why?
The president is somebody who follows the recommendations and the advice of the CDC. I don't know what the circumstances were of that particular moment.
He was shopping in a store, and on the glass outside it said face covering required, and we could see him inside, and his face was uncovered.
Well, again, Peter, our recommendation and advice continues to be for people to wear masks when they are required in establishments. I don't know what this establishment was. The president obviously follows the advice of his health and medical team.
Is there concern that when the president says today, please wear your mask indoors in public settings around other people, and he doesn't do that, that it's going to make it harder to get people to follow him?
I think you see the American people, and all of you see the president wearing a mask every time he comes out to an event, when he's sitting in meetings, and certainly he will continue to model behavior he hopes the American people will follow, not for his benefit, but to save their own lives and the lives of their friends and neighbors.
Whoa. It made me feel good. You were there. It didn't take much to convince them that we should go to 24/7, 7 days a week. And anyway, thank you for being.
Thanks all of us.
It sure heck does. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to turn this over now to Brian. He's going to moderate the rest, but I warn you, I'm going to intervene with questions with your permission. Isn't this a pretty place?
C&D presents the No BS Show. With your hosts, Chris Mize and Doug Dock. It's the No BS Show. Take it away, guys.
Isn't this a pretty place, Doug?
It is very, very, very
First off, before we get into it, I want to thank all the veterans out there, like always. I taught you guys we wouldn't be able to do the things we love to do. This show, which is in jeopardy anyways, and but we thank you and appreciate it. Want to thank all our military serving overseas in the homeland. We appreciate you guys. Want to thank the National Guard, Doug. Some of them are going without pay now. So, yeah, not getting a jab. So we appreciate you guys staying firm. Want to thank all our first responders, police, fire, EMS, doctors, and nurses. We're still hoping things pull out for you guys. Today was the magic date for a lot of them, Doug, and we'll see where that goes. And tow truck drivers, thanks a lot for all them people we just mentioned. A lot of shit, Doug, with the people we mention every week at the beginning of our show. Just they do a lot of stuff that they're unsung heroes, all of them,
right,
all the way through, right. And they don't get enough recognition. So, what? I don't even know. We're talking before we come on the show. When's Peppermint Patty gonna go? You know what? Fuck it.
Right. And
have a meltdown right on stage. I know he did. We can't control him.
Yeah, this guy.
He's a special kind of stupid. What do you want to say? But you know what? He's the one pushing masks, pushing the jab, this, that, and the other. And if a sign says, and Doug, we've had this conversation last year through our mask mandates. You have if a store says signs, you have to wear a mask to enter. That's their policy. That's their rules. You got a
Right.
choice not to go in.
Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about that.
You know, I mean, what would have happened? Let's just say if the mandate was on, what would have happened if the health department walked in and there's old Sleepy Joe walking around without a mask? Does the store get fined for him too? Because that's what they were doing last year. Remember in Ohio?
Exactly.
I mean, you know, and the thing of it is I want to know. He follows his team of medical advisors and that. Well, if his team of medical advisors is basically telling him, don't worry about the mask in there, why the fuck are we wearing it?
Right. If they said that, I don't think they said that, but it didn't matter if they did or they didn't.
Assume. Listen, we're gonna. You don't
matter.
think they said that, but that's what Peppermint Patty pretty much said.
Well, yeah, but it didn't matter if they did or they didn't. Let's say they didn't. It's clearly marked on the window when they're pointing the camera through there.
Yeah,
that you need to wear a mask.
So he's above the law. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, but yeah, please don't do as he do. As he does. Don't do
as he does. Well, you sound like him right now.
Yeah. Hey, do we have a hashtag today? Yeah,
you know what? I was talking to Dean earlier and I didn't get to call him back. I got tied up again. I'll buy it. You know what? I'll buy it, Dean. This is on me. Large pizza and Pepsi product. But here's what we're doing, guys. If you win that pizza on the show, you get 2 weeks to claim it. You know, you can't be going 2 months.
2 months and go, hey, I won this back in August.
Yeah, August. You know, that's not from Dean. I hadn't even talked about Dean, to Dean about that. I just think that's the fairest thing, we can do on the show to, for his sake, I mean, his employees and everything. So 2 weeks and we'll go same thing. Hashtag Big D's Pizza.
Hashtag Big D's Pizza. All right. Let me put that
Dean, if you're watching, he said he was going to watch. I got this one. So the C&D Bowl show. No bowl, I should say.
Yeah. So there's the hashtag that you need to put in, and somewhere along the line,
better scroll our disclaimer
before
we get in trouble.
Yeah. Let's see.
Doesn't show many people watching, is it?
13.
Yeah. Well, wow.
It's whatever they allow us to have.
Whatever they allow, whatever they put up, say it's watching.
Yeah.
So, the thing of it is, whoa, this is the president of the United States, and he's like stumped on that last one. I'm gonna interview what do you say if I'm allowed or yeah. And then looks up at the sky with a dumb look. Isn't this a beautiful place? And you can see it. You could see it. You could see it in his face that he's out there. Good evening, Deborah. Tell Mark we said hello.
Yeah.
We're pushing for him. So we got a few things that Doug research. I've been out in the woods most of the day today. Not in the woods, but deer hunting. And worked yesterday and I haven't had a lot of contact with Doug. But one of the things before we get going, I sent Doug three texts today. Come right off CNN.
Which, as you know, that's the Clinton News Network. And they love Democrats.
Joe Biden. They love Joe Biden. And I tell you what, they're going to town on him. They're starting to go to town. It's turning, Doug. All of a sudden now CNN's got their own fact checkers. And what was it? Two out of the three I sent you were about Biden's speeches.
Right. Claiming that he was he met with Prime Minister.
Israeli prime minister
Right.
and said a bunch of shit, and CNN fact checked it and said, no, this is not what happened. That war you're talking about, the 6-Day War that you were involved in talking, was in 1969, and this was in 1973. And
Right.
then they were talking about his economic speech on Thursday.
Well, CNN did the first right thing. They got rid of, they fired him.
Chris Homo.
Yeah, because he was helping his brother.
Yeah, Governor Homo.
Which is all real strange. The whole story is real strange, but he wanted to be the one to break this news, and so he was kind of guiding.
Yeah.
But we talked before the show. So if Biden makes a mistake, which he does, occasionally he does make some mistakes because he's getting up there in years, is he going to ever be held accountable? I say no.
I believe you.
I
Because
don't think he will.
he did this fact check. I mean, he did his speech, excuse me, on Thursday. CNN shredded it with fact checks. Shredded it. There's so many things that he said that are not fact and are lies. The unemployment rate is down because of me and da. Well, the unemployment rate is down. Yeah, Dean, I'm buying it. I'm buying it tonight. Yeah, it's on me. So Dean Henry, we want to thank everybody. Thank him. He gives pizzas away and stuff on this show and the other show we have.
We put a 2-week limit on it, so you don't have people showing up in July.
Yeah,
and they won it last August.
Yeah, but anyways, when if Trump did this, and I don't want to get on the Trump train because I've already been on it, but they would have his ass. He goes on, talks about unemployment, the jobs report, and this and that. There was 4 major things, Doug, that CNN shredded and says this isn't true. He lied. When are we gonna start an Article 25? When are we gonna start an impeachment? And you're right, Doug. I believe.
Stay safe.
But they're not going to start an impeachment. They're not going to do an Article 25.
No. That's up to us, and we're not doing anything about it. So,
no, we're sitting here bitching.
We're sitting here bitching about it, but that's not helping anything. I agree with that.
Yeah, I get that, but what I agree with that, Deborah. But this here, Doug, you read it. This was, I mean, I could not believe CNN put this out because they actually put the facts of what the unemployment rates were, what the job for November, the job was, the increase.
Yeah.
They put out a whole bunch of different stuff, facts.
Usually they try to lean it towards, what he said, but it's getting harder and harder to do because he's just flat out just way out there now.
Yeah, and when are we gonna as a country act up, against this? I don't know. I believe you, Doug. 6 months ago, I told you were crazy. We wouldn't put up this shit. We'd stand up.
We're still bitching.
Right. We got nurses and doctors that their deadline was today. How many are going to get marched out of their work tomorrow?
Yes.
University Hospital won't.
Well,
neither will the clinic.
Okay, so my question to you is, and let's take the health field out of it because it's kind of a whole different breed. Do you think the employers should mandate the vaccine? Employers, Do you have I always go to you have a candle shop, you have a couple employees. Do you say you have to be, do you think they have the right to say you have to be vaccinated?
No, I do not. I don't think they, well, yeah, they got the right now because in February they voted that law in. But I personally think, no, they do not have that right.
I don't either. And we're not doing anything about that as well.
No.
So,
And we didn't in February. You know, let's go back. And I've said this, 3-4 weeks in a row, Doug. In February, we were on this show jumping up and down. I mean, bitching. I was having major meltdowns. Remember, Facebook was cutting my feed 2-4 times a night because I was having major meltdowns about this is bad. You got to say something. This is bad. And then boom, the law went in. And the law says the government, this is all lumped into one bill. Remember, the government and the manufacturers of the vaccine cannot be held responsible for any side effects, including death. So you can't sue them or anything for any side effects or death.
okay. So if your employer makes you do that,
Shouldn't they be held liable?
they're making you do a medical
Now let's go to the second part of that bill.
procedure.
The employer, I don't know what all wording's in there, but the employer can mandate that you receive the vaccine, be vaccinated. Samantha, if you're watching, be vaccinated, or you could be terminated. Now, with no repercussions. So
Okay.
if you go, and that's another thing like what we were talking about last week, it's if you go and you get the vaccine, you get vaccinated, and you go back to work because your boss said you either get vaccinated or you ain't going to have a job. You get it and you get sick and you have major side effects, including death. Can your family be able to sue the employer? I personally feel yes.
Well, they're having you do a medical procedure.
Yeah.
You're changing your body for them.
Against your will.
Right.
But you have to do that to make your living. But I don't know. There's probably some kind of wording in that bill that protects the employer.
I'm not sure there is.
And if I'm an employer and there isn't wording in there to protect that bill, protects me in that bill, I'm going to be asking the government, why the hell did you word it to where you're protected along with the manufacturers, but I'm not? I'm not. If I'm an employer, I'm not mandating that my people take the shot.
Now, what about the people who lie?
Well, who would lie?
I know, like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I mean, what? Lie about what?
Being vaccinated or not. So I'm an employer. I have a store of 20 employees, and you got to be vaccinated. Yep, I'm vaccinated, and we find out that they're not vaccinated. There was actually a player today, NFL player today, that was, what happened to him? But anyhow, it was. I'll have to look it up.
You're right, and that's the one thing on the federal court. Doug, let's get into this just for a minute because there's comments coming up on this.
I'm ready.
The federal court put a stay on a mandate that Biden had that 100 or more employees. No, well, let's back up. The Department of Labor had 100 or more employees. You had to be vaccinated. Period. Or it was a $14,000 fine, all that. OSHA's the first one that opened up, so we're not enforcing that. Then the federal court put a stay on the order. So it's going to be heard and all that. So now the Cleveland Clinic and University Hospital, and I don't know, I think there's a hospital around here. I don't know which one. I've seen that, Doug. I can't remember. That's staying with the order, but staying, making them get vaccinated, but they backed off and they said, we're not, they're not going to do it. They're going to see what goes on in this federal court. But when it comes down to this, and we're in a room, Tammy's on, she's in the room with a bunch of nurses, and someone come in and said, well, you have your First Amendment right. You can this, that, and the other. Your First Amendment right, freedom of speech, religion, and all that, it doesn't matter. It was passed by Congress, Senate, and signed in the bill by President Biden. And that covers that employer. So there's nothing, you can argue your First Amendment, this, that, and the other, but you're going to have to get lawyers and fight Congress and Senate to try to get it overturned. And Doug, we know how long that'll take. You can fight it all you want. When it should have been stopped was last February before it went in for vote.
Okay.
No,
well,
I tell you what, it's yeah, but Deborah, my point, I don't disagree with that, but my point is this: our Congress and Senate, along with the president, made it a law in February. Made it a law that an employer can do that. So who do you actually sue is the question here, Doug. You're going to sue the employer, but
depends. I don't know that it's a law. I think it's a mandate. And
it's not a law. It's a law.
Yeah,
they put it in.
A law.
They put it in and voted it in that the government can't get sued, nor the manufacturers, for any side effects, along with an employer can, put in that you have to be vaccinated or lose your job with no repercussions. We were screaming about it. It passed. And about 4 months later, when this shit started coming up, that's me and you I told you. I can't remember what House bill it was. So my point is this, Doug. Everybody's confusing some things. The federal court put a stay on the mandate for the shot. Okay. That was the federal mandate that Joe Biden put out through the Department of Labor. And that also was the mandate with all the federal money for Medicare, Medicaid, and everything. If the hospitals, nursing homes, and that didn't do it, they were getting all the Medicare payments yanked and all that. That's what that stay was for.
So let's throw yet another twist into this. So if my employer says you need to be vaccinated in order to work here, and I say I have natural immunity because I've had it, now what?
I don't know. Because by that bill that passed, he can fire you, terminate you.
But I have natural immunity.
I wonder, Deborah brings up a good point. Man, there's so much going up right now that I can't keep up. But Deborah brings up a good point. Let's go back to what Peppermint Patty that one day said. Well, the federal overrides all state. She's so full of shit. I don't know where she was in government class, but I think our state. You're right. They drug their feet, Deborah. But I think our state did pass last week. Didn't that all pass? Where they backed off that and said that. See, it's a fuck story. I'll tell you that right now. It's a fuck story. Because now you got states saying, screw you, we're not allowing that. And, Ohio's one of them that I think went that way. But now you got a federal law that says that they can do it. Here's a good question. Where's your average person that doesn't keep up on everything, because they're busy working and they got a life? Where's the average person? Where do they look to? We're seeing this with the nurses. Where do they look to? So
Well,
you got to go hire a fucking lawyer?
Well, for example, a employer that does federal work, he has to know whether his people are vaccinated or not.
Well, here's the deal, Rob. Right now, you still can because
Right.
the
There's a
federal
stay
court,
right
there's
now.
a stay on that, and they ruled it unconstitutional. But yeah, she does, Greg, and that's the problem. What was that? I can't remember what, not a 10th Amendment, Article 10 or something, where the states govern themselves. And I think you're seeing there was total how many states that were trying to override this, Doug. There was Texas, Florida,
Yeah.
Ohio, but all I can say is if you're in this situation, you're going to have to do a lot of research and see what your state legislation did or is doing, because right now employers got that, and it's sad that they're starting to label, like Rob said, his company, the vaccinated employees and the non-vaccinated. That's discrimination in its highest. I don't give a shit what anyone says. That's discrimination. And right now there's no mandate on any federal job that you have to be vaccinated to go to that federal area and work, because that was just put to a halt last Thursday. I think it was Thursday or Friday. So, whether your company chooses to keep going by that mandate, that's on your company.
See, there's the other thing. That they can fire you for, if you don't pass a drug test.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. I mean,
so as the world turns, so where do we stand on this?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, as much as I'd like to say this, that, and the other, it's a fuck story.
It is.
And that's all I can tell you is because, you got, listen, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a politician. I'm a redneck hillbilly from Berlin Heights.
What did you say?
But the problem is there's so many people that it can tell you, the law and the mandates are so wide open, Doug, that there's so many people that construe it interpretation. You can throw the First Amendment out there all you want, but that one went through Congress and Senate and was signed in. I mean, we put up there in that nurse's room, what you named them all off, and the one I can tell you is that I know worked at a local hospital, and it surprised me. And I'm sure Facebook will be the fucking idiots they are and warn us on this or whatever. But a person wrote in, there's not enough research completed and done on the reproductive system of a woman where this vaccine doesn't alter that reproductive system. And she said she has not decided if she wants to have any more children or not.
Right.
And she may want more children, so therefore, she wanted the what do you call that? Exclusion is the word.
Exemption.
And they granted it like right then. And that was the main one.
So I agree with Greg, because there are places that are starting to charge more for unvaccinated. Like if you get health care, it's going to cost you like $25 more if you're not. But I think the health or the insurance companies are the ones going to take the brunt of this now.
Yeah, it religious exemption, Tammy. They've already got through that. Here, and I'm not trying to piss you off, but here, You vaccinated for the measles? Vaccinated for the measles? You vaccinated for chicken pox? Or you know what I'm saying, Doug? And that's where they're coming at you with. Well, you got vaccinated for that. Well, they're using aborted fetal tissue for shit, Doug. I bought crapped when we seen that list of every medicine that is on the market
Right,
that was
right. Yeah,
used
it's like
aborted fetal
almost
tissue.
yeah. Anything
Everything
that
you
you
take.
use is in there.
Yeah.
Do you remember and I remember it in grade school more than I do any other time, and I know that it phased out, and I didn't do it after like grade school. They gave you immunizations in school. It was almost like a whole line, and they shot it right in the arm, and there was 5 needles. I remember that.
Yeah. There's a bunch of us. I don't know what year it changed. A bunch of us got a little circle on our
Yeah.
shoulder.
Yes.
A little
Yes.
circle like that.
Yes.
Because you went through and bam, you got the shots. And there was like 5 injections, bam. And then it scabbed up. And then
Right.
you
Right.
got
And
that
then,
scar to rest. You know, that's how we used to know kids. You'd see that on their arm.
right. Right.
Oh, you've been vaccinated. You
Yeah.
know.
Right. And I wonder if it's going to go back to that.
You know, Joe, you're right. You're right. Put Joe's comment up there.
Going quick here.
You know, it is. You're right. It was our parents' choice, but like my son, who's 22 now, and you know, I wish I you know, you couldn't sign him up for, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't sign him up for school unless he had them vaccinations.
Right.
You know, I don't know where that law changed or whatever happened, but I couldn't, you know, we had to show the vaccination sheets, measles, chicken pox, all that shit. So, you know, this actually started a while ago, Doug, if you really think about it.
So if this happened, then it was the government. It wasn't just, your school district said, let's immunize all these people. It was the government that said that, and they're doing it again. So what's the difference?
It's a big difference.
What's the difference?
In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I said it's a big difference. This is a whole different situation.
Hold on now. If they took, let's say, 4th graders and said, everybody, when you get to 4th grade, you're going to be immunized for this. Your parents need to sign off on it, like our parents did.
It's an unproven. It's not even a fucking vaccine.
That's true, and I think once they get it to, okay, this is working and this does work, that it should be mandated.
It's not a vaccine. I don't care. They're calling it a vaccine.
What is it?
It's a fucking flu shot. You got the COVID shot. You know, when I got the vaccine for chicken pox, measles, and shit, did I have to go back every year and get a booster? Well, we got the measles 0.35 coming out. Oh, we got the measles 0.4. You know, you got a vaccine and that was it.
Look at that.
Mark of the devil. Yeah, it's I got it. But you know what I'm saying? We don't even know. This is the bullshit of this. And we had a whole show planned, but the board's lighting up. Everybody, it's evident everybody wants to talk about this a little bit, Doug. But we don't even know. Now we got the new variant. What's it called, Doug? Omicron variant coming out. And we had to, when the Delta variant come out, we had to get the booster. Remember the booster? And then they're going, well, we don't know how effective that booster is on Delta. And we don't know what the fuck it's going to do on this next one.
And that's what that guy said that I watched. He said, no idea that's going to be.
If it's even going to help.
Yeah.
If it's even going to help reduce the symptoms, like what they're saying, the vaccine was supposed to relieve the symptoms so you didn't, you know what I'm saying? Now, the kicker that nobody, that people get so confused about is this so-called vaccine doesn't prevent you from getting anything, and it doesn't prevent you from spreading it. Look
Right.
at the numbers.
Right.
195 million Americans as of last week, and 53% of Ohioans, for example, are vaccinated. The
So
numbers ain't changed.
you just answered the question that I asked you. Now you have it. Now you have an answer for it.
What?
Why is it any difference when we used to, get the shot in school, blah blah blah? Because this does not prevent you from
It
getting
doesn't
it. The
prevent you
measles, the
from
mumps, and
getting
all that was to prevent you from getting it.
Yeah, this doesn't. And so it shouldn't be called a vaccine. It should not be called, it should be called, what pissed me off, and everybody on here knows that I've been vaccinated. I got it first part of April before this, all this bullshit come out. But I got the Pfizer. I go back, get my second shot, Doug. That nurse, no more. I think she was doing it. She was pulling the needle out. She hadn't even put the needle on the table, and she says, well, you're going to have to get a booster. And they already knew. They already knew when this vaccine come out that you were going to have to keep getting boosters. That's
Right.
not a vaccine. That's
Right.
a fucking flu shot.
Okay.
It's the same thing everybody gets every year that goes and gets the flu shots
And get sick after it.
and gets sick.
That's
Just like
misinformation. Misinformation. So let's talk about this then. So Aaron Rodgers did that. He did get it broke down by his team of people and said it was not a good. It would not do him any good to take it, and that did not work out very well for him.
No, it's not gonna either. And he's getting sued, isn't he?
I don't know.
Here's the thing. Let me put it to you guys this way. I got the vaccine. I'm vaccinated. Doug's not. You think I care? I'm not going to look at Doug when we're up in a tower side by side next to each other
You look at me strangely.
Well, yeah, but I don't say, Doug, I really think you should go get vaccinated for, I think this.
We've actually never talked about it.
No, because I don't care, and neither do you.
Right.
It's your choice. I really honestly feel, because let's say I'm vaccinated, which believe me, there's a part of me that regrets it. I ain't felt right since. And that Facebook and YouTube, you assholes, that's my opinion. I'm allowed to have my opinion. I'm not spreading fucking misinformation. And, that happened to me personally. I'm not saying it happens to everybody, but the whole point of it is, I don't feel someone that is vaccinated should go and tell somebody that's not vaccinated and try to push it on them and push it on them and push it on them. I don't feel someone that's not vaccinated should go to someone that's vaccinated and push their, leave it alone. It's your fucking right.
Exactly.
And it's your choice.
Your health. It's your health. Your body, your decision.
It's like religion, Doug. How many times you shouldn't push your religion on another person and this, that, and the other. And everybody will say, yeah, you're right. You're right, Chris. You should not push religion on a person. This, that. It's the same thing, only it's a vaccine. Am I wrong?
No.
You should not push that one way or the other. Every single person has an individual choice that you have to make yourself. And when government starts trying to make those personal choices for us, we got a fucking problem. And we got a serious problem.
See,
that's wrong. That's wrong, Dean. It's wrong.
We've even said it on the show. You got a right to whoever you want to vote for. Don't care. We'll put out what we know. But same with this other crap.
It's your right, your decision as a family, as an individual. I'm not going to try to push one way or the other. And I don't think anybody else should. And the problem is our federal government is pushing it. That's where the problem falls with me. And no, you're not going to find it right now. You're not going to. Well, aborted fetus tissue, Deborah, I got to send you that sheet. The everyday aspirin. Huh?
Where'd you post that at? Was that in that group?
Yeah, it was in that group, and shit, it's way down the line now. I have to go find that, Deborah, and send it to you. Everything that aborted fetal tissue was used in the medicines that they put out. Now, whether it's fact or not, I don't know. That's why we won't put it up here.
Right.
Because we don't know. That's what they're saying. But yeah, the 5G, the 5G is a bad thing too, Tammy. I mean, you guys, if you get into 5G, listen, do this. I've seen it several times. Put your phone down. Put steel wool about a half inch around your phone. Yeah. Tylenol, everyday aspirin, ibuprofen, Motrin, all of them, Deborah. Put steel wool around your phone. And then, you remember when you used to take steel wool and put it on a 9-volt battery and it'd light up?
Yeah.
And call your phone. Watch it. It starts lighting up. What's that doing to our fucking brain?
Well, hold on now.
No wonder I'm not brain dead.
And I have to watch how I word this now. I am taking calls for a cellular company, and not just this company that I'm working with, all companies are retiring 3G and going to 4 and 5. That's the only phones that'll work now. Mm-hmm. So is that Bilderberg Group?
I don't know. They probably got their fingers real quick on Greg. Greg, that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did, because there was claims that went in under religious beliefs because aborted fetal tissue was used. And that's what they come back with. Basically, this paper, we're not going to say where we got it. Deborah will send it to you, and you got to keep. I think, you know what, Deborah? Mark has that paper. Mark has that paper. I sent Mark that paper, Doug. Remember that day? Mark and DJ Swearingen. What they did, Greg, is they come back and they said, before you claim this is your religious belief because aborted fetal tissue, let's be clear that you don't take these medicines. And holy shit, I'm telling you right now, if you read these medicines that they say it's in, you're gonna, holy shit, I take this every day, or this, right. or the common thing, Pepto-Bismol, like Tammy said, that's on it. I mean, aspirin's on it. So then you had to sign and document it, that I believe it was 10 years, wasn't it, Doug? For the next 10 years, you would not take these medicines, right? Because, right. And you could be checked. And if you did take any, I mean, all the way down to Motrin, ibuprofen, aspirin, Tylenol, all these, the common everyday thing that people suck down every day was on this list. And whether that list is true or not, Doug, we don't know. That's why we never posted it. But it's, at the end of the day, and then we'll get off the vaccine. At the end of the day, here's the thing. One, like we've said time and time again, I don't care who has it or doesn't have it. If you want to go get it, that's your choice. I'm not going to say one way or the other. If you don't want to get it, that's your choice. I'm not going to say, I'm still going to talk to you, trust me. Because until they can come up with a solution, instead of saying, well, if everybody gets vaccinated, and I'm going to throw a word in here that Dr. Fauci himself chastised a scientist in Texas and a doctor that was in Washington, D.C. speaking back in April of 2020. If everybody gets vaccinated and herd immunity kicks in, we can beat this. Well, I have to ask this question. What's herd immunity got to do with it? Because, Doug, remember in April, Fauci and all them said herd immunity has no effect on this. It'll never happen.
Right.
And then he comes back and says that. If you're getting a vaccine, the vaccine prevents you from getting it. If you're just getting a shot to, cope with the symptoms so you don't get severe symptoms, it's not a vaccine. Period. And when the government tries forcing us, that's the end of it. Hey, you're never going to see that. You're never going to see that. And I'm going to contradict a lot of what I just said. And you're all going to think I'm fucking Fruit Loops. But I don't like hearing the fact that, well, they got vaccinated and that's what killed them. That might have happened, yeah. There ain't no two ways about it. But there's a pill out there called metformin, Doug. It's taken for diabetes. If you go do your research on metformin and watch how many people it's screwed up, their kidneys and everything else, it'll make you sick that pill's still in use. And nobody ever says a word on that, Doug.
Right.
Huh? Nobody says a word. Metformin, you keep taking it and taking it, take it. You got to watch your kidneys. It's a known side effect. It'll fuck your kidneys up. And nobody says a word about it. Nothing. So you either get it or you don't get it. Either way, I don't care. What I care about is the government trying to push it on you. That I don't agree with. I do not agree with it. And that's that. How's that?
Yes. That's...
What are you talking about, Sean? Metformin? Yeah, I'm guaranteeing she is. I'm going to tell a funny story. And it's a true story. And if Sean's on metformin, she'll agree to it. Anybody that says, oh, man, my sugar's a little high, the doctor prescribed me metformin. I said, oh, really? I said, did you take it yet? No, I'm going to start taking it, this week or tomorrow. Or make sure you don't go very far from a shit house. What do you mean? You'll see. For the first 2 weeks, man. First week for sure. You ain't going too far. Trust me, because you can't leave the toilet too long. And what kind of side effect is that, Doug? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, that's anybody that I've talked to has had that side effect immediately. So, all right.
The answer to that is no.
What, can anyone tell me the contents? No, Rob, you're not going to get them. It's like Deborah said. But you can ask all you want. You're not going to get it. Your Dean's on it. I mean, you're not going to get it. I mean, they need to publicize what we're taking. Metformin, see?
And I think if they did that, probably some people would probably say, okay, I'm good with it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
all right. I was going to say is Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, Moderna COVID or Johnson & Johnson.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Hey, Robbie, I can remember people making moonshine and Everclear and stuff saying, hey, have some. Okay. I didn't really know what was in it, but I drank it.
That's true, too.
All right, Doug.
All right. So let's talk about your state and local and federal officials on the take.
On the take.
On the take. How do you know if they are or they're not?
You don't know. You don't know.
Okay, but sometimes scandals come out, where they're getting a lot of money and all that. Well,
like First Energy scandal.
Yeah, like now there's something new out there that we're not going to be able to tell.
What is it?
What's one thing that cannot be tracked?
Bitcoin.
Yes. So now they're using Bitcoin to bribe or whatever they want to call it, persuade
Lean their way.
these representatives so that they and you're never gonna know.
You're not gonna know.
Correct.
Bitcoin, in my opinion, is a very dangerous thing. Because how many terrorists use Bitcoin?
Yeah, and anytime that they do something now, they want all the money in Bitcoin or
Right.
whatever crypto coins. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. So now your officials can be taking these little Bitcoins, and you're never going to know.
Yeah,
You'd
never know. It's
You-
untraceable.
Yes, and there's one being pursued right now to find out if they took cryptocurrency.
Which one?
I can't release that information right now.
Oh, here we go.
No, I can't. I honestly don't remember who it was, but there's one that's being
In
pursued.
federal.
Yeah.
You're not gonna catch it.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
I don't think so either.
No, they ain't caught terrorists doing it. They ain't caught the scams. I'm telling you right now, if someone ever calls you and wants you this, that, and well, you can send through Bitcoin. It's a scam.
Right.
It's a scam. You know, I mean, it's you call the police up or anything, anything ever. You call the police up and say, listen, I was supposed to buy this off this guy. I sent him Bitcoin. The police are going to laugh at you. Well, how the fuck, well, sorry about your luck. You know what I mean?
Sorry, Craig. Every week we come out with something new.
Yeah. Don't, Bitcoin, if you buy Bitcoin, you can make some money because, but it's up and down. There's a prime example. That guy, 20 years ago when it come out, that guy bought $2,000 worth of Bitcoin. Yeah. And it's worth 19 million now. And he forgot his passwords.
And he's got one try left. And if he blows it, it's gone.
Yeah, you can't send him, hey, can I have my password?
Right.
You can't do that. You set a password up for life, and you're only allowed to fuck it up 8 times.
Right.
8 or 9 times. And after that, your account's locked out and that money's theirs. It's gone. It's gone. Yeah. He's got $19 million. And that's how much it grew from 2000. I think that was what it was, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah.
And but cryptocurrency, whatever, Bitcoin, it's untraceable.
Right. So you give somebody a Bitcoin today that's worth 50 grand, it could be worth 300,000 in 10 years.
Yeah. Not only that, if you give somebody Bitcoin, you're in Bitcoin and you pay, let's say I wanted to buy Doug's car and he sells it. Well, you know what? Send me 1,000 Bitcoin. I send him 1,000 Bitcoin and I don't get the car. I call the police. Hey, I sent him Bitcoin. Well, we can't trace that.
Right.
I mean, trust me, it's
right.
That sounds like a wonderful, and it is, and it isn't. No. Deborah, it is, and it isn't. The problem is scammers are a lot smarter than we think.
Yeah, if everybody was honest, this would be great, but fortunately,
I mean, it's a good investment. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I wish I'd have been smart enough to invest 20 years ago. $500 of Bitcoin, it'd been worth.
So, this can get down to the local level. This can get all the way down to a race director accepting Bitcoin.
Hint, hint.
Make your Bitcoin payable.
You
to-
know, it'd be my luck though. Yeah, you know what? You send me over 10 Bitcoin and I'll make sure all of a sudden tomorrow's news come out. Bitcoin can be traced now.
Right.
But, you know, you got to watch. And I'm sure, you know, not all politicians, you know, I won't say all of them, but the politicians they are, a lot of them are as crooked as the day is long. They're more
Right.
crooked than the day, and they figured out they're just bad as a scammer. They figured that out, and they're probably getting, you know, like Nancy Pelosi. She makes 175,000 a year now. What was it 40 years ago at Congress? You know, and you know, then you're going to hear, well, her and her husband have other investments and stuff. They got a net worth of how many millions?
Right.
Well, it's up over 200 million now. You know, how do we know she ain't taking Bitcoin? Yeah, you know, yeah. I wish Monopoly money. I was pretty good at cheating at Monopoly, Deborah.
Jesus.
I was always the banker. Hey, there's no 500s left. I got them all.
I don't know what to tell you guys.
But be careful what you do with that Bitcoin stuff. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
I know a prime example.
But locally, state, federal, they could be on the take and you'll never know.
When we'll know is when Democrats think a Republican's doing it, and then they'll have fucking hearing after hearing, and you know, bring Bitcoin in and everything else. You know, unfortunately, you know,
and Bitcoin themselves doesn't keep track of. They keep track of, I think, the original person, but after that,
it don't. No, I don't think there's records. Transaction records.
Right.
And I want to know how the IRS lets that go.
I'm sure they're working on it right now. I mean, Biden gave them a lot of money to do that.
Well, not yet. It ain't passed yet. But yeah, he's giving them a lot of money if it passes.
Speaking of passing, they did pass a stopgap bill Thursday.
Yeah, but what's
to fund the government? Well, we're getting there. So remember the billions of dollars for the Afghanistan?
6.4 billion.
Okay, well, there's 7 point something in this bill
for Afghanistan refugees.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
They threw more money in for that. Mm-hmm. In a bill that's supposed to just keep the government going so we don't run out of money.
Correct. We are really taking care of them for some reason.
They probably got all the Bitcoin.
Right. Poor folks under the bridges and the tunnels and all that, they are not getting anything.
No, and the veterans that are walking around homeless and going into winter. And they cut. Remember, just to remember this, people, they cut funding for the VA hospitals. In the last bill that passed, right, Doug? They cut what, 55 million out for VA hospital, or 55 billion. Yeah. 55 billion out for the VA hospitals. But Amtrak got 60 billion.
Yeah.
For their backlog. And now we're 6.4 billion back to keep the government going until December, and now 7.4 billion for Afghan refugees.
Just to help them, along with all the other billions we need to keep the government.
Resettlement.
Right.
Unbelievable. So that, you know, there's $14 billion. What could that have done for all our homeless and veterans? What could it have done?
We could have built all them little motel houses that they built for the Afghanistans for the veterans.
So Biden can, isn't this a pretty place?
Well, how do you put that? He goes, isn't this really pretty?
Yeah. What a fucking moron. All right.
One more, and then we'll get into some school stuff.
Oh boy.
So we don't shy away from anything here. So we're going to talk about Roe versus Wade and the whole abortion stuff.
Oh boy.
So what they are getting ready to do is gut that bill and hand over everything to the states for the states to decide what they want to do within their states.
With the abortion.
So there was a federal law, I guess.
And they're just going to wipe that out.
Just kind of wipe that out and give it to the states to either block or allow abortion.
That's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
It's a double-edged sword. I didn't know Amtrak was owned by a Canadian
I
company.
didn't either.
We'll look at it.
I thought Amtrak meant American track.
Well, now it's Can-Amtrak.
Okay. Okay. So
I don't know if I like that.
well, you've got all kinds of different things going on now. So really, what did it do? It just said if Ohio decides that they're not going to allow abortions, you go to West Virginia, they allow it. Just go wherever they allow it. And so we didn't do anything. We just opened it up, basically. Said do whatever you want to do.
And
Like
that's
the borders are. They're whatever.
well,
Go to
it
a
depends
state
on
that
what
allows.
border. If it's in the United States southern border, it's okay. If it's in Poland, it's not.
Right. It can't. Canadians, you need to come through properly. You just can't skip over the line.
Yeah, we're not. Our numbers are up again. We're about to shut the border down again.
So they have a reason for this happening. Our government has a reason for this happening, and that's because of the justices that Trump put on the court. Hi, Chris.
And it's all Texas.
What?
It's all over Texas.
What is?
Well, they come out with the state ruling that about abortion. And the federal government was going crazy. You watch. It's all going to be because of it.
Well, they mention a couple different ones in here.
Texas.
Yeah,
Now,
Texas.
New York's on the flip side. You could have an abortion all the way up 2 weeks before delivery, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's all over the place on these. Texas is one of them. Texas.
I'm sorry, I'm dead set against abortion. I understand
Completely.
certain circumstances. I understand. I mean, I'm not stupid. There's certain circumstances, but just because you got pregnant, knocked up, decided, well, I want a mulligan, go have no. If you were responsible enough to,
Chris Stevens going to end up in jail.
Yeah, you're going to jail, Chris. If you're responsible enough as a woman to open your legs, and you're responsible enough as a man to put it in, then you should take care of what comes. There's so many birth control stuff out there now. I said that in pun. there's so many birth control things out there that there's no reason for it, Doug. If you want to play stupid, then you should have to take care of your responsibility by the U.S. government. Well, that all depends. Who owns Norfolk and Southern? Canadians?
Mm-mm.
Norfolk and Southern lines, they run their lines, their rails. When did the U.S.
NUP and BN?
Yeah, that's all American owned, and them are their rails that they maintain. Norfolk and Southern, them.
Right.
So Canada doesn't maintain the rails for Norfolk and Southern. I know that. I mean, but
if they do, they're not doing a very good job.
nah, not at all. But yeah, they didn't get any money out of that. Amtrak got it. They, Norfolk, and you want to improve things, let Norfolk and Southern and all these have some money to maintain the rails. It is what. Well, I'm just saying, they run right here at Cleveland Road, that rail there, and that's Norfolk Southern's. But I know they run every morning at 10 to 5. Amtrak goes across that.
Yeah.
Trust me. But the abortion thing, like I say, I'm dead set against it. If you want to play, you take care of your responsibility. You're like Chris said, it in my eyes, especially after a certain point, it is murder, Doug, in my eyes. I'm sorry. I mean, to go 2 weeks before giving birth and allowing an abortion is flat out murder in my eyes. I don't understand. You got everything is formed, Doug.
Right.
And I don't want to hear somebody say, well, they didn't give birth yet. Because if you're going full term and you're 2 weeks before your full term, how do we have premature babies at 7 months born and end up living a full, healthy life? It's.
I think everybody agrees with that, but they're going to put it with the states to decide so that they don't have to be involved in it anymore.
Well, the thing of it is, and Deborah, you're right. I agree. It should be a state issue, but the problem is, you got stupid ass states like New York that have that in as law, Doug. Where it'd be nice if the federal could override that, but it depends on who's got control, whether they'll override it or not. That's the whole whatever.
All right.
It's a bad thing. No matter what, it's a bad thing.
Right. I just don't know why they would even mess with.
I keep breaking up on your end. They're getting ready to cut me. That's why.
We're being watched again.
Yeah.
So you heard about the shooting in Michigan?
Yes.
All right.
I haven't kept up on it, but yes.
There is a hero in this whole thing, and you're not going to hear about it. It's just some student, and he saves the lives of a lot of people. And I'll play the clip, and you got to listen. Turn up your volume to number 10.
Is it graphic?
No, it is not graphic at all.
Okay. All right.
And there is some subtitle to it. You'll be able to read it if you can't hear it, but when you hear it, you'll know. And listen, this kid just is very. He needs to be a hero in all this. Hey, here we go.
Sheriff's office. Yeah, we're here. Yeah, we're here. Yes. Sheriff's office. It's safe to come out.
Yeah, he said it's safe to come out.
Now, we're not willing to take that risk right now. I can't hear you. We're not taking that risk right now. Okay, well, come to the door and look at my bag, bro.
Yeah, bro.
He said bro.
He said bro. Red flag.
Go.
Slow down, you're fine.
Yep, he's a hero. because they were willing to go out that door.
Yeah. Yeah. He said, bro, red flag.
Yep, go. Wow.
It's just
I mean, you
bizarre.
stop and think, high school kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheriff's Department.
Oh, open
You're
the
okay,
door.
come on.
Open the
Yep.
door.
Yep.
We're not willing to take that chance.
Yep.
It's
There's
Sheriff
kids
Department,
standing
bro.
there. Yep.
Come look at my badge. Come look at my badge, bro.
Yeah. Open the door. I'll show you my badge.
Yeah. They'd have been gone. They'd have been gone. And that was the shooter, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes.
But we ain't ever going to see anything on CNN or MSNBC, even Fox. And you know, I'm going to tell you, that dude got up and walked over to the door and told everybody to sit down, didn't he? Wasn't that what he's saying? Hold on.
Yeah. He didn't want him to open the door.
Yeah.
We don't know who the name of the person is. That video is kind of just circulating, but nobody's really putting two and two together and saying that kid.
Save
and I
some
don't know
lives.
where the teacher is in all this. No
Yeah.
idea where the teacher's at.
Out the window holding the other door. Where the hell you guys been?
And they went out the window. That's what he told them. Go out the window. And then they went into another part of the school, which was kind of surprised me.
Looked like it was secure because there was a
Deputy there. Yeah.
Wow. We don't see that on the nightly news, though, do we?
No.
Tammy, get off and come back on. Try that. Sign off and come back on.
Yeah.
Wow. That kid. Doug, research that and get him on our show.
I will research that and try to find out who it is. There's a video out there where it's not, the faces are not blurred, so you can see everything going on. And whoever was taking the video, I mean, that's where you hear red flag, but it's the kid standing there in the blue and white coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, Chris. That kid needs to be honored. You know, I mean, how many kids were in that room? 20, would you say?
Look like it, yeah.
I mean, he possibly just saved 20 kids from dying.
Yeah.
Because if that guy would have got in the room, you know what would happen.
Right.
It's like shooting fish in a fishbowl. Boom, 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 you know.
Yeah, I'll research that because, golly, I'm speechless.
Yeah.
I'm speechless. And first of all, for, you know, and who knows, even if it was a senior in a time like that, how are you thinking that clear to even think that? But he did. You okay, Chris?
Yeah. It's showing everybody else can see us, right?
Yeah, everybody's saying they don't have any issue.
Yeah, she got kicked off.
Again?
It won't. Is she trying to get back on and it says this broadcast is expired?
Oh, wow.
Yep. Chris Stevens, you'll be the next one.
Yeah, after your comment. They don't like things that are... All right. So remember I sent out an open records request for some info from Frederickstown School. This is in Ohio. So we're going to see if you guys are just as open as a sixth grader. But here's my questions. I would like to see a copy of the questionnaire that's being taken by students. They did attach that. I said I would like to also know when the results will be tallied, distributed, and what information collected will be used for, and what steps are being taken to assure anonymity, and how is this information going to be stored. Their response to that was, we do not have any documents for this request. Please contact Knox Public Health for requested information.
Why would we have to contact Knox Public Health?
See, therein lies what's going on here. That this is the health department involved in it too. How is peer pressure being removed from the equation of taking this test? We do not have documents for this request. Students do not have to take the survey until the survey is administered. Students do not know they are taking the survey until the survey is administered. They take the survey on a computer if they choose to do so. The survey is not mandatory, and students are not pressured to take the KPH Pride survey.
Yeah, but what don't make sense is you just say till it's administered. So let me ask a question then. So I go into school. I'm 17. I go to school, and all of a sudden, here it is, survey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 14. I don't have any. Oh, Tammy's back. All right. I don't have any way of talking to my parents about this or anything.
Well, apparently there was that's originally what started it. There was a memo sent out by the school district to the parents. And one of the parents was like, what is this about? And then that's when Mark got a hold of it and said, you need to know what's going on in your schools because the survey's coming up. Right.
Yeah.
So
Mark Paquita now is the one that, because Deborah's on, well, I think she's on. I ain't seen her comment in a while, but Mark Paquita is the one that, yeah, you went off of on this, and Mark, this is what the shit Mark's fighting.
Right. Okay, so remember, I think it was last week or the week before, I told you some of the survey questions.
Yeah.
Tobacco, firearms, drugs, where you feel safe, where you don't. Now here's the supplement to it, which we would never have known unless we asked for it. So I don't believe that the parents know exactly what's on this, but we'll see. If you got a sixth grader, this is the questions are going to be asked. If you got a sixth grader, have them come on and answer.
Yeah, wait.
Are you going to answer these questions?
Answer the question as a sixth grader. Yeah, don't have your sixth grader come on and answer.
No. Why not? Why not? They're going to get it in school.
All right, go ahead, ask.
Okay, so
go.
Okay. Yeah, they do. They do. You're absolutely right. Up in Chicago and along that area, they do.
Go ahead, Doug.
So if you'd like to play along, you can answer these as well. And you can answer yes or no to it. Okay. And there's only 10 questions.
Okay.
I know where to go if you have. That doesn't even make sense. I know where to go if you have questions about how to practice safe sex. Sixth grader, 12 years old. Yes or no? That's what you answer.
Well, okay, I'm going to act like I'm in sixth grade. No.
Yeah. I feel pressure from my peers to engage in sexual activity.
No.
Anybody got a sixth grader? It gets better.
Yeah, this is what Mark uncovered, Deb.
I feel pressure from social media to engage in sexual activity.
Didn't have social media when I was
right. But now a kid today that watches Pornhub and all that.
Yes.
Okay. Have you shared nudes or inappropriate videos on social media via text? And you can answer yes, no, or no, but I have seen them.
No, but probably seen them.
I am comfortable talking to my parents about the details of my personal sexual health. And you can answer yes, no, but I have another trusted adult I feel comfortable with.
Well, I want to know who that fucking trusted adult is.
Well,
if it's not your parents. Are you fucking kidding me? These are for sixth graders?
Yeah, 6 through 12. So you get the whole thing here. I feel satisfied with the way my body looks right now. Agree, disagree, or neutral?
Oh, who the fuck thinks of that in 6th grade?
Okay. Question 7. How many times this year have other students used the internet or a cell phone to threaten or embarrass you by posting messages or sharing photos, such as on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc.? Never, 1 time, 2 to 5 times, 6 or more times.
I, I,
Okay.
I don't even know what to fucking say. Joe's
Question
right. This is a pedophile.
Question 8.
Question
How
here.
often in the last 12 months have you experienced dating abuse, including physical, sexual, emotional, verbal, digital, or financial, by someone you have dated or went out with?
I'm married. I experience that every day.
Digital.
Digital. What?
I thought it was something different, but okay, I understand it. How
This is
often?
being asked of 6th graders?
Yeah.
How
So
old are they in 6th grade? I don't even
think
know.
12. I think 12 years old.
Somebody out there let us know what a normal 6th grader.
If you have a 6th grader, how old are they? How often in the past 30 days has an adult given you or your friends alcohol, beer, wine, or hard liquor? And you get to choose never, 1, 2, 3, or more times.
And yes, Dean, we had radios. I used to put my radio under my pillow and listen to WKCW, I think it was, out of Canada, believe it or not. AM radio.
Thank God it wasn't where he could talk
11.
back.
They're 11 years old in 6th grade.
And then on the average school night, how many hours of sleep do you get? 4 or less, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or more.
It depends on if my 12-year-old in the bed across the is having sex. What? Are you serious?
This is the questionnaire, yes. And then that goes along with the other one that we talked about smoking, using cocaine, ecstasy.
And this is all the Knox County Health Department.
Yes. So we could do an open records, but I don't know what we would gain from that.
Well,
unless you would like me to.
If you feel the urge and you got time, yeah, let's ask somebody to come on and ask why. Let's ask. We ain't part of Knox County in no way, shape, or form, so we might as well fuck with them. Ask them why these questions are on for an 11-year-old. I don't know. I mean, I know I'm old.
I agree with that.
Yeah. The beer, the alcohol one, I can understand that one, great.
Now there's an additional supplement to this.
Another one?
And well, this is not quite as bad. It's more COVID-y related. How safe would or do you feel returning to school at this time? It's a legitimate question, I guess. Do you prefer online classes or learning in school? Do you have enough access to school counseling services like mental health, dealing with your problems or feelings?
I didn't get a trophy.
How has your relationship with the family you live with been affected during the COVID-19 pandemic? I don't know.
It's none of their fucking business.
Right. I don't know that should be in there. Do you follow social distancing guidelines and try to stay 6 feet apart from other people not in your household? Do your friends follow social distancing guidelines and stay 6 feet apart? Do you and your friends wear masks or face coverings when you are together? Since the COVID-19 pandemic started, have you felt more sad or hopeless than usual? During the past 30 days, about how often do you feel nervous, And then the next question, hopeless. And then restless or fidgety. The next question, so depressed that nothing could cheer you up. Next question, that everything was an effort. And then during the last 30 days, about how often do you feel worthless? What if somebody puts it every day? What are they going to do? What does
They ain't
that,
gonna do nothing because it's supposed to be anonymous,
right?
right?
So why ask these questions?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, that's
Frederickstown's a rural.
right. Small school.
You know, I could almost half understand if you were in your sophomore year, and these questions some of these are being asked of. But 11-year-old, you know, I don't. And Tammy's right. Every kid's saying no. I don't feel safe to go back to school.
Oh yeah, yeah. So the question comes up. Well, why are we asking the questions? Really, what if everybody said no? What are you going to do? Just go back to school? Go? Oh, we probably don't want to do school anymore. No, nobody feels safe. They're not
You
going
know,
to. I don't think it's going to change anything.
I thought spiders died in the winter.
Do you have one?
One's going down to my thing, man. I'm more scared of
Down your
spiders
thing?
down my table,
Okay.
my laptop. No, I'd been jumping around if it was. I'm more scared of spiders than midgets. Why are we? What is the purpose?
Have you ever heard of getting a temperature check?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's what we're going to hear here. We just want to see where people are, what the body of the student.
What are they going to do about it?
Well, that's what I want to know. What are you going to do with
What
this
if you got
information?
30% of the kids from 6th grade to senior, 30% of the kids saying basically, I feel worthless, I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm that, and answer these questions, boom, boom, boom. What are you gonna do?
Well, it's also because they're not requiring everybody to take it, they have no number to use. So they're going to go out of the 100 kids that took the test, 70 of them said,
Right, but you get a smart ass.
There might be 800 kids in the school district.
You get a smart ass like me.
And you're gonna jam
and
up
you're
with
gonna
that.
just sit there and know it's anonymous. You're gonna write whatever just to
Right.
fuck with the system.
Right.
So this isn't a true. And second, a lot of these questions, in my opinion, is none of their fucking business.
Right.
It's not their business. Their job is to teach. To teach. You know, not play parent. And this is my whole problem with schools nowadays. They want to be the parent, teacher, everything. Yeah. You know, it's you're right. I don't think anything should be hid from the parents when it has to do with schools. It's just like the school boards. You know, that's all quieted down. You ain't heard shit about that, have you, Doug?
No.
It's all quieted. And when you quit hearing stuff about it is when you need to worry the most. Because this administration and this whole Washington, D.C. era right now, when it gets real quiet, they're doing something shady. They're diverting your attention on other shit, and they're going to do something shady. I don't have a problem with them taking temperature. You're right. You know what? Boom, they got the things now. They don't even touch you. Boom, boom, boom. You know, I don't have a problem with that. But when you go past that and ask questions like these, you start talking about sexual shit with my kid at 6th grade, I'll be one of them domestic terrorists at the board meeting. Trust me. You know, I'll be going nuts. You let them start asking my grandbabies that and come home in 6th grade and start talking about that shit, I'll be flipping out. Yeah, everybody, hashtag Big D's Pizza. Make sure you get it in.
Yeah, we're gonna draw here in a few. I could reach out to them and see if somebody will come on a Sunday
Knox
night.
County Health Department.
And you know what? We'll do one better. We'll meet on their terms. We can record
Pre-record
it and then play it. We've done that before.
Yeah, but they need to come on and explain, because we might be missing something in today's world
Right.
that we need to
Right.
know, or they might be
Right.
able to shed light on, hopefully, but I doubt it, Doug. I highly doubt it. I think it's an overreach of the Knox County Health Department and schools. It's none of their fucking business. And
Well, I
they're doing
will fire off an email to them and invite them on
Yeah.
to
We'll see
find
how
out
that
more.
works.
Yeah.
Let me call Pete Shade first. Pete, this has no reflection on you.
Right. Well, you know what? Maybe we can ask him if he knows why, or if they're doing it in the Perkins or Sandusky school districts. It may be. You don't have kids in there, right?
No, I don't.
So they may be doing it.
You know, Nikki Sharp does. I wonder.
6th grade.
I think, yeah. Maybe I'll ask. You know,
Right.
I don't think it's right. This is a problem. I think not only our government's going with overreach. I think our schools are going with our school boards are going with overreach. Everybody's wanting to tell you how to live your fucking life.
Right.
And how you should live your life. You live your life. At 6th grade, you live honestly, to tell you the truth, you live your life with what the parents tell you how you're going to live your life at that time, because you don't know any better.
Right.
I mean, Jesus Christ, in 6th grade, some of the boys, you got to tell them, hey, you stink. Go take a shower. Oh,
Right.
what do you go take a shower?
Right.
I don't know, unless shit's changed a lot since.
I don't think so.
I mean, my son's only 22, but I know damn well, 11 years ago, maybe it's changed in 11 years, or he just didn't say nothing. I ought to ask him that question if he ever took a survey like that.
Right. You may never know.
I can tell you this, when I was 11 years old, if you had a survey come out in our schools like that, I guarantee you the school board would get hung.
Right.
Yeah, the parents that you had to go rent a stadium for all the parents that would have come
But
in.
remember, when you're in 6th grade and you take something like that, you just assume it's for school. So you just take it and move on. You don't say anything.
Every parent should get a questionnaire that the kid's going to take with every single question. And it's that parent's choice whether, some
Right.
kids in 6th grade in a rural area, especially like, not in the inner cities, but in a rural area, they don't have a clue what the fuck you're talking about on some of them sexual questions. Shit. I'd probably blush on some of them.
Right. Not quite as bad as the other one we did.
What positions do you? There's more than one. What do you mean? Doug, I learned something today. I mean,
yeah.
Why would they want? Do they have your number?
They shouldn't be. Oh, no way.
No.
I wouldn't allow that.
I wouldn't allow that at all.
You're not counseling my kid through text messages.
Yeah. I'd be the smart ass that take the phone and say, yeah, here's my number.
Or you'd be answering.
Yeah.
Getting your kid in trouble.
Yeah. I think you're hot, ma'am.
Let's give away some pizza.
Big D's Pizza. Thanks. Clyde, Ohio, Dean Henry.
Yeah. We can do this too.
I don't care. Are you ready?
Anybody else want to get on that? It's on it. In it. just put that hashtag Big D's Pizza, and you're entered.
No, man, I tell you what, if a school teacher or counselor or that wanted to talk to my kid and wanted a number so they could text them, I'd be very pissed off, Doug. What are you texting my kid that you can't text me?
Right.
You know what I mean?
What's that?
I don't know.
All right. Well,
No, you're fine, Greg. We have no. I'm not sure what your question is, Steve. Go ahead, Doug.
All right, we're drawing spinning. You want me to spin the wheel
or
spin
whatever.
the people?
Flick the names, or flick the names.
Flick them. All right, I can
Flick
do that.
them.
I'm gonna do that right now.
Here comes the flicker.
We're in there too.
We're in there. How are we in there?
Because I had to put it out there so people would know what to do here.
I still got this spider.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I've never won anything before.
Oh.
Oh, this is so great. Oh, so thankful.
But the rules say employees of the C&D no bullshit can win, Doug. So
we
spin it again.
We make those up as we go. We may have another shot at winning.
Just like racing, I make the procedures as I go.
Yeah, I do. I think Joe Given, you're gonna get this because
Joe's the only one in there.
Yeah, there you go,
Joe. Joe.
You are a winner. You are a winner. Are you still with us?
Yeah, he's there.
All right. Good job.
His wife's saying, "You finally won something, Joe."
Yeah. Now take me to eat.
Now, if Doug would just cuss, my night would be complete.
you know,
yeah, Joe, if you want to, Dean, Joe wants to give it to somebody. How about this, Dean? Joe, how about we give it to a veteran?
There you go. Do you have a veterans home or something up in Clyde, Ohio?
Oh, Sandusky.
He's going to drive it all the way to Sandusky.
No, I'm just saying there's veterans around Clyde.
You just said Sandusky.
I said the veterans homes in Sandusky. There's veterans around. What, you think all the veterans are? There's veterans around Clyde.
Is there? Didn't know.
Boy. All right. What you had one more thing.
No, I didn't.
You done?
I think so.
Oh my God, we're under 2 hours again. There. Yeah. Thanks, Dean. Thanks, Joe.
Perfect.
Man, it's like somebody. I wanted to touch subject on something, but I forgot. Unfortunately, I've lost another friend. It's been a bad year. James Muncie, known him for years, worked with him a lot. A former vet and a firefighter. What is your opinion on the mandate? Hold on, Steve. I'll get to that. It's James Muncie was in the boating accident almost 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago. They ain't found him yet. He's in Lake Erie somewhere. I mean,
presumed.
Yeah, presumed. So our prayers go out to the family and that. He was a good guy, real good guy, hard worker. So I don't know. It's just been a bad year of losing people.
Yeah,
I can't wait for another 3-4 weeks for this year to be over. I said that last year, thinking 21 would be better, and it ain't got no better. So, you know, the sad part about getting older, I hate to say this, sad part about getting older is, you know, you don't go to many weddings and graduations, right, and you start going to more funerals, and it sucks ass. And you know, I just want it to be over. We lost a lot of people this year, and you know, God bless their families. We pray for them, you know, to get through it. And to answer your question, Steve, I have no use for that mandate. You know, most of the show, sorry you got on late. If you go back in and watch the beginning of the show, we we had a whole different game plan for our show tonight, and we went off on the mandate and the vaccine and the vaccinated and non-vaccinated, and it's a crock of shit. I'm vaccinated since April, beginning of April. Doug's not. We sit in a tower every Saturday night through the summer. I could care less if you are or you aren't. It's your personal decision. It's not a vaccination, in my opinion. In my opinion, Facebook and YouTube, that's my opinion only, because it doesn't prevent you from getting it. When the federal government starts telling you that you have to take this or you have to do that, it's overreach, and I disagree with the mandates. I'm glad the federal judge put stay on it, but the problem is, Steve, you have to go back and watch the show. Like I said, last February, there was a bill went through House, Senate, and President Biden signed it. An employer can actually mandate that at your job, or you can be terminated with no repercussions to the employer, and I think that's wrong too.
Yeah, we touched on that at the beginning, and if you go back the last few shows, we talk a lot about the mandate.
And thank you for your service, Steve. I see you're a past veteran. We're big on that. You guys, are take a look at what our government's doing with these bills. Start researching it. The last 1.3 trillion that passed that they just voted in, a month ago now, Doug? The infrastructure bill, 55 billion was taken out that was supposed to go to the VA hospitals for the veterans, and it was taken out and put elsewhere. Amtrak got 60 billion for maintenance, and it's wrong. It's wrong. We don't do shows like this. We don't, drive around as of right now in freedom. Go wherever you want. Go to California if you want. Drive, get in your car, without guys like you and the other veterans that are on this show and veterans all out there that basically you wrote a blank check for your life to the United States government to protect these freedoms and fight for us. And I think it's an atrocity, at the least, of how Biden pulled out of Afghanistan and left all our shit there that our veterans fought 20 years. Now look, Doug, I just, you're going to, Steve.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. I just seen an article, and it was on CNN again. Did I send that to you about the girl that got sold?
No.
They're selling, we went in a matter of months from, their economy wasn't great by any means, don't get me wrong, but people were they were feeding their families. They were living a little bit of freedom. The women were allowed to go to school. They were allowed to this. 9-year-old girl, in a matter of months, a 9-year-old girl, 9 years old, was sold by her dad for $2,000, Doug.
Right.
So he could feed his family. See you later, Robbie. So he could feed his family. CNN and them were doing a report on it, and the guy ended up bringing the girl back because it was, if that doesn't, video of that girl leaving doesn't bring you to tears. It made a 6'4", 280-pound, thinking he's a badass son of a bitch, tear up in his eyes and an actual tear go down his cheek, because they're literally dragging that girl away from her family, and that guy's literally pulling her away, taking her with him. And this is what's going on, and it's okay that the Taliban, our president, who's a goddamn Catholic, a Roman Catholic, is okay with this kind of shit because he walked away. So, you know what, Steve? You veterans that especially fought over in the Gulf and in that sand, I feel bad for you. It was all thrown out the fucking window because we got a no good, rotten son of a bitch at the leadership of it's just, oh man, you might make me go on another hour, so I'm gonna have to get off. You know what I mean? It is. You're right. And that's what it was, Deb. It was terrible. It was terrible. Yeah. Did you see it, Greg? Or Greg might have been the one that sent it to me. Or it's terrible. He had like 6 kids. He sold one of them to try to feed the rest of the family. How can you? I don't even want to get into it.
All right.
That'll be next week.
Go back through a lot of our past shows, and we touched on a lot of that stuff.
I might have sent it to you then, Greg. I don't know. Or you might have sent it to me. But if you go back, Steve, and watch the beginning of our show, we'll definitely, you'll understand how we feel about the mandates. You know, how we felt from day one last year about the mandates when they started coming out in Ohio too. It's all a crack of shit. You know, we're mandating vaccines and getting vaccinated. 195 million Americans are vaccinated, and 53% of Ohio is vaccinated, and it's going to cure everything. And the fucking numbers ain't gone down. They ain't gone down. Somebody fucking explain that logic to me, Doug. You can't. Well, if we get herd immunity, well, that was a bad word, right?
All right.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming on your service, though, Steve. It's guys like you why we can do this. So, other than that, anything else, Doug?
That's it.
All right, everybody. Stay safe. Hopefully, this show stays on this one.
Right.
We touched on the vaccine, and God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for watching.
See ya.